You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA 2K25. It is myself, Mo Mooncey. I'm having a lovely day. The Celtics won, the Lakers lost, but not having such a lovely day as Mr. BJ Armstrong, three-time NBA champion. However, his Detroit Pistons are now down 3 games to 1 in what was a thrilling match that went down to the wire. Decided by maybe a no call by the referee. BJ, what did you see in this one?
What do you mean when I see it? It's a great game. We lost by one. Let's move on. Game five. This is Detroit. You don't get me decided all that. Hey, it's been a great series. This has been a phenomenal series. Games could have went either way. Let's give the Knicks credit. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. That was a big time performance
Some of the
today.
shot making down the stretch from Cat was
Okay.
unbelievable.
It was unbelievable, unbelievable shots, unbelievable game. The place was rocking in Detroit. The stars were out. Isaiah Thomas was there, Jalen Rose, Chris Rubber, Ben Wallace. I mean, we had the
Chauncey
Lions
pulled
were
up
in the
too.
Chauncey. Hey, it was great. Great atmosphere. Spike Lee. I thought I saw Patrick Ewing. It was great. It
Yep,
was
yep.
unbelievable. So we lost. Now let's go up there and see what we can do. Let's see, can we go up there and get one and get it back to Detroit? That's it. I love it. I have no problem. I've said this, Mo, ever since you've known me. I love it when teams play hard. I love this brand of basketball. I am so excited for these games. Every game there's a skirmish. The shot making of these players. I'm admiring their abilities, what they're doing. I mean, it's just been great. I mean, we can talk about every one of these games. Okay,
Mhm.
probably with the exception of the last
Well,
game of the
three of the
evening.
four, three of the four for tonight.
Yeah, but overall, this has been fabulous. I mean, yesterday, the Denver game. I mean, you could just go on and on. I mean, Mo, I'm back. My excitement level is I'm on. I'm
Well,
not
do you
on
know
nine. You know what I
who
mean?
else
I'm
is
not on
back?
nine. I'm on 11 right now.
Jalen Brunson went out with an injury and then he did return to close out the game nicely in the fourth quarter. I think this series, however it ends for your Pistons, I think this series is going to be fantastic for the development of a young Cade Cunningham. On the big stage
Yeah,
with
no,
the
this
physicality, and he's got to learn down the stretch just how to close out some of these games because they've got a chance in every one that they play. It's just
no, no,
those
I'm not. No,
those
Mo,
final
no,
possessions.
no. I'm not. No. This young man, he don't have to. He's doing it. This young man is playing. Okay, he's playing. This man's getting double team, triple team.
Triple
He's doing this
double,
against OG.
25, 10, and 10.
He's doing this against OG. He's. I'm not worried about him. Right now, when it say you have to learn, you got to learn how to win in this league. And the only way you're gonna learn, you have to be in games like this.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Should I tell you something that I don't love? Should I tell you
Okay,
something that I really hate? I
okay.
don't understand the point of the last 2 minute reports because this game, if you guys didn't see it, you should have seen it. You should go back and watch it. But it was really decided on Tim Hardaway Jr. shooting a corner three on which I thought he was fouled by Josh Hart. The refs didn't call a foul. The shot missed. The game was over. The Knicks win. And then they bring out the last 2 minute report and they say, oh, my bad. He actually was fouled. What's the point? We already have a million stoppages for reviews. If it's a crucial play like that that can decide a playoff game and ultimately a playoff series, why would you not just review it in the moment to ensure that you, the referees, made the right call instead of going back to your locker room and writing your 2 minute report saying, oh no, we got it wrong, but it's too late. The game's over. What's the point in the last 2 minute report? I don't know.
I don't have time for that. I enjoyed the game. I was fully entertained for 48 minutes. So I enjoyed it. It was great. I can't wait to see game five. And let's go. I don't have time. I don't have time for this. They gave me 48 minutes where I felt every player, every coach, everyone gave their maximum. What more can I ask for? And you know what, Mo? Because I make mistakes, the refs are allowed to make a mistake. Uh, I make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. So, all right, they missed the call. All right, big deal. Let's move on. Game 5. You know what, Mo? I, I, I might pull up to New York. I enjoy I when you look at the shots that Cat and Brunson were making, Cade made some shots. I mean, these guys are this is big time. Cade got a nice look at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Got a nice look. I mean, what more could you ask? I mean, this guy's playing one of the better defenders in the NBA, and he's just handling his business. Come on. Hey, I don't have a problem I don't have a problem with a game like this. If you make the shots that Cat made and the shots that Brunson made under that level of duress, hey man, let's move to the next game. let's go. Let's get after it. So it's okay. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, the next game that happened was the Lakers and the Timberwolves in Minnesota.
Oh.
Timberwolves 116 to 113, a 3-1 commanding lead. Much to the dismay of a former ESPN reporter that we shall not name, the Lakers in 5 prophecy will not be coming true. It was a very, very interesting game. And I want to commend this young man, Mr. Anthony Edwards, because he showed up in the big time. When the lights were brightest, he said, yeah, I'm here. Turn the lights up even brighter for me. How about that?
There are a lot of stars on the court. There's a lot of stars, okay? There are a lot of stars. But Anthony Edwards is the brightest. Okay?
43 points to go along with 9 rebounds and 6 assists.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure we say this. There are a lot of stars on the court. A lot of stars on both sides. But Anthony Edwards, he shines the brightest. Now that young man has been the best player in the series. Okay. Now, there's nothing you can say when Anthony Edwards performs like this. I don't think there's anything the Lakers can do. They don't have anyone that can match up with him. They can't defend him one-on-one. He defends Luka. He defends Austin Reeves. He defends LeBron. He plays point guard, 2 guard. He does it all. When he brings this level of energy, there's nothing they can do. They have to defend him with a team concept. He was simply amazing. Julius Randle, if you're listening, that might have been your best game I've ever seen you play as a pro.
I agree.
He was
playing bully ball.
LeBron James was fantastic. Luka was fantastic. You know, Austin Reeves had a slow start, didn't even score in the first half. Comes back and he has what 15 to 17.
17.
Rui
gave them the unexpected contribution. You need to win these games. When you get 23 points from Rui Hachimura, 5 threes from downtown, you got to win these games. And they were so close to winning this game.
But you know what? Naz Reid, okay, DiVincenzo.
Naz Reid's a difference maker.
Yeah, this was just a well-played game. Like, we have to talk about something, Mo, I don't think I've ever seen before. I've never seen a coach not substitute for an entire half.
Mind the game.
I don't know if that's accurate or not. But he did not make a substitution.
It's the first time in the play-by-play era that a head coach has not made a substitution in the second half of a playoff game.
Now, I'm fascinated to see the implications of that because those guys played a lot of minutes. I mean, Rui played 41 minutes. LeBron, 46 minutes. Luka, 46 minutes. I don't know how these guys are going to recover from this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We can't forget now. These guys aren't like, LeBron in particular. I mean, that's a lot of minutes. It's a lot of minutes for those guys. Austin Reeves, 35 minutes. Derek Finney-Smith, 40 minutes. They had 4 guys that played over 40 minutes.
Their closing lineup played the entire second half. And you really saw it in the way the offense kind of slowed down in the late stretches of the fourth quarter. It's tough to play an NBA game. It's tough to play half an NBA game. It's tough to play half an NBA game without a rest. Like, we talked about the depth of the Timberwolves. You were very adamant on the athleticism of the Timberwolves and the depth of them. And one thing that the Timberwolves do a great job of is forcing the Lakers into turnovers. So far in this series, Anthony Edwards has only turned the ball over 6 times in 4 games. He's turned the ball over 6 times in 4 games. Luka Doncic in this series has turned the ball over 18 times, and he only has 20 assists to go along with that. And it's hard to not turn the ball over when you were ill, vomiting whatever illness you had in game 3, and then 48 hours later, you're out here in an early tip-off in the Western time zone for game 4. That's real tough.
I loved it. It was great. I was on the edge of my seat. I loved it. So you know what? Bravo for the Lakers. Congratulations to Minnesota for winning that game. That could have easily gone to the Lakers. And I'm excited to see what game, 5 now?
Yeah, 3-1
Yeah,
down.
they're down 3-1. I think this is really tough. And I think it's going to be really tough because he doesn't have any, he doesn't trust his bench.
He
So
also he also doesn't trust his starting center. Jackson Hayes once again plays 4 minutes in this one. Is he just starting for decoration? Like they just want to win the tip off and then sub him out of the game? What's the point here?
again,
What are we really
I
doing here?
I'm not second guessing. I attended game 2 and it worked, right? When you
For
find
eight
something that
minutes,
works,
he played. He played 8 minutes in game 2.
okay, and then it worked, and clearly Minnesota has adjusted to it. Nas Reed is the answer versus all small ball lineups. Okay. Now we've seen this. So I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is that this has been great for us as basketball fans to watch,
Absolutely.
to talk about. It was physical. I mean, Anthony Edwards and LeBron James
Pushing LeBron, letting him know we ain't here to get pushed around.
yeah,
Like, come on, man.
there was pushing on both sides, and everybody's pushing, and I just think this is what basketball, how it should be played.
This is real basketball. Like
Yeah,
we
this
said with
is
Joe Dumas the other day, the real basketball's back.
yeah. So this is fantastic to
I
watch.
do have to also commend LeBron James because despite playing the entire second half uninterrupted, there were some stretches in that fourth quarter where he was wreaking havoc on the defensive side of the basketball, finished with 3 steals, 3 blocks. He looked like a prime LeBron at some points.
Yeah,
And he's 40 years old. So, credit to him. I get a lot of messages from LeBron James fans saying I'm a hater of LeBron James. So let's give credit where it's due.
yeah.
27,
Hey,
12, 8, 3, and 3. A
what
great
what's
performance from him.
what do I always say? Just give me what you got, big fella.
Give me what you got.
Just give me what you got. And he laid it out on the line, and you have no problems with me, right?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
very unfortunate someone had to lose.
Luka
'Cause
Doncic
I
had
loved it.
38 in this one.
Yep.
I really need the Lakers to win the next game
Okay.
because I'm working with a brand on a commercial for Luka Doncic, and it's supposed to come out the same day that if they lose the next game, they're going to be eliminated, and it ruins all of my work. So I need Luka to win that next game and the game after and the series. Otherwise, I'm gonna look like a damn fool. But regardless, it was a great effort. For the Timberwolves, just their athleticism, the versatility of their lineups, their depth. And Jaden McDaniels as well. He only had 16 points in this one, and it's crazy that we're saying Jaden McDaniels only had 16 points, given that no one ever would have thought to say that sentence before these playoffs began. But he did his thing on both ends of the court, as he always does. Man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. This was physical basketball. This is what we're here for. This is what the NBA playoffs are about. And we saw another very physical game over there in Orlando. However, the Magic couldn't get it done as the Celtics took a 3-1 lead, 107-98, in what was not a comfortable win by any stretch of the imagination for the Boston Celtics. But I just gave LeBron his flowers for doing what he did at his age on the defensive side of the basketball. How about Al Horford finishing with 5 blocks in this one? Big Al.
Uncle Al, he doesn't have big stats. Every now and then he pulls out
He
his
scored
30.
for one 30-point game in the
30-point
run.
game.
Maybe we'll see it in the next
So,
series. Maybe we'll see it in game 5. Who knows?
yeah, he'll pull it out strategically when he needs it.
I hope so.
But for him, I mean, he's a winning basketball player, and Star players have to be stars, but role players have to be stars in their role. Al Horford is a star player in his role. How could you not love him? How could you not want to play with him? He is the ultimate team player. He just, you need him to shoot threes. Okay, I'll do that. You need him to guard. I'll do that. You need him to help. I'll do that. You need him to rebound. I'll do that. You need him to pass the ball. I'll do that. He's a star role player. I mean, when you want to win, you think of Al Horford. So again, he shows up big. He had, you know, big time effort on the defensive end, like he always does.
Mhm.
But for him to have 5 blocks, that was
Five
pretty
blocks.
impressive.
Yep.
5 blocks. But he was great. Another nice win by your Celtics, and they pulled it out. Shot making of Jason Tatum. Wow.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. 37 points on his injured wrist. He had 14 rebounds to go along with it. He had 3 steals himself on the defensive end. But the thing is, this is a very tough matchup for the Celtics. If you're wondering why these games are so close, it's not your typical 2-7 matchup. The Magic defense all season long has caused problems for the Celtics, and they're limiting of 3-point opportunities. The Celtics tonight only hit 9 threes. Once again, second game in a row, they only hit 9 threes. They were 9 of 31 from downtown. The Magic 8 of 30. We often see a big discrepancy between the Celtics and their opponents in not only the volume of threes, but also the number of threes made. The Magic defense causes real problems for guys like Peyton Pritchard, who scored 0 points tonight. I don't remember the last time that happened. Sam Hauser finally made his first points of the series tonight. And you saw the adjustment from the Celtics with Kristaps Porzingis. They were going to him more as a roll man off the pick and roll rather than him popping out and shooting that long three that he likes to shoot. So you can see them starting to adjust to what Orlando's game plan is. But for the Magic, Paolo had 31, Franz had 24. They got solid contributions all around. They just didn't have enough firepower down the stretch in the final few minutes of this game to put it out the bag.
Yeah, Orlando. I thought they gave a great effort. I mean, they're forwards, Bonchero and Wagner. That was fun. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and against those guys, that was fun. If there's one thing you can point out with the Celtics, their bench now they only went 8, and I
No
think they
Drew
only got
Holiday
like
again.
yeah, and they only got 6 points. Clearly, they're missing Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a big part of this team, right? His organization, what he brings, his leadership, his defensive presence. You can tell they miss him. So, but it was a nice win. I thought it was a win that they needed to get one. Jason Tatum, again, you know what? I know he's playing with an injured wrist, but you can never tell by his shot making and what he's able to
Mm.
do. I mean, he was just, he's a load down there as a player and how you're going to defend him, but he just made big shot after big shot. So great win. They're going back to the Garden there and
Yep.
try to
Try to
close the
close
series
out the
out.
series, hopefully. But the sad news of the evening was Damian Lillard going out with an injury. They suspect that he's ruptured his Achilles as the Milwaukee Bucks lost and now go down 3-1 to the Indiana Pacers as they lost 129 to 103. It's kind of a real shame for the Bucks. It seems every year since they won a title, they've had a major injury happen in the postseason. It's really just Giannis out there by himself doing what he can do. In this one tonight, Giannis once again 28 points. He got 23 off the bench for Kevin Porter Jr., who came in to take those minutes that Dame Lillard vacated. But outside of that, they got 14 from Bobby, and then really nothing else. I feel bad for him because Giannis and the Bucks have lost 8 of the last 9 playoff games that Giannis has played in. In those games, Giannis is putting up 30, 14, and 6 in those games, and the Bucks have lost 8 of them, which is not ideal. But how about the Indiana Pacers? I don't know. Is this the highest amount of points scored in the playoffs so far with 129? They cracked 100 by the end of the third. They got double digits from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys tonight cracked double digits for the Indiana Pacers. They were getting out there and running. They were doing their thing on the defensive side of the basketball. They were shooting the 3 ball very well. They went 18 of 39 from downtown. They had it clicking on all cylinders. What did you make of this, though?
Well, you can see the depth of the Indiana Pacers. And, when you start bringing off McConnell and Toppin and
Ben Shepherd had a great performance as well off the bench. Jarris Walker,
I mean,
you know,
I mean, these Nemhard, Naismith, Siakam, Turner. I mean, they just when you have that kind of depth, right? It's going to be very hard to play, especially as the series extends. Now, I just think the Milwaukee Bucks can't match up with this team's
no.
depth. I mean, and what they do. This is a tough matchup for them. They have enough bodies to play against Giannis, and you can see the frustration now setting in. Hopefully, our thoughts are with
Damian
Dame.
Lillard.
Yeah, it didn't look good. I don't want to speculate, so let the experts take care of that to give us what's really going on there. But um, you can just tell Milwaukee right now they have to be devastated if they're going to lose Dame for the rest of the series, and hopefully um, we won't get the news that we all think probably what it is, because that means they'll lose them for next year as well. So,
Hmm.
um, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Our thoughts are with him, and we'll see what they do in game what 5 there. And
Yep.
they're down
No,
3-1.
yep.
But
All the
but it
teams
doesn't.
that won
It's
tonight,
not looking well for Milwaukee.
all the teams that won tonight took a 3-1 lead. That's what happened
Yes.
tonight. But actually today is 5:30 in the morning UK time. So later on tonight for us, or tomorrow for you guys in the States, the Cleveland Cavaliers try to avoid the Miami Heat tried to avoid elimination at the hands of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are up 3-0. BJ, I don't think we had the chance to speak about this game number three. But do you see any hope for Heat culture? I know you're a big fan of it, but I didn't see much of it on the court at all
You,
in
you,
an
you know,
absolute destruction of their team in game
no,
three.
no. I mean, there's always hope. However, I think it's going to be a very difficult task for them to figure out how to win 4 games in a row. Let's just start there. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have a lot of depth. They have size, excellent guard play. I think Miami, this is just hard to overcome, but they're fighting. So we know they're going to show up. But I think Cleveland just has too much talent to overcome for this Miami Heat team. And I expect them to win and close the series here tomorrow night.
The Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. What did you think about that game three that the Warriors won?
I really thought the Rockets lost the golden opportunity to win game 3. Um, I thought they really, if they, things were kind of Jimmy wasn't playing. We know the impact of Jimmy. We've seen since Jimmy's arrival there in San Francisco what that has meant to the team, to the success, and more importantly, the record is an indicator of how effective Jimmy has been. He does not play, and then the Warriors beat them without Jimmy Butler. So now, if Jimmy comes back, you have, if you're the Warriors, you're feeling pretty good about this. So I thought the Rockets lost a golden opportunity. You have to win the games, Mo. You're supposed to win. That was a very winnable game. I thought every game in the series has been a winnable game for them. However, if they don't win tonight or tomorrow night, they're going to be down 3-1. So I think this is a must game. I think they have to play with a greater sense of desperation. On paper, it should be more difficult, especially if Jimmy plays, but they're going to have to figure out how to slow down Steph Curry. Steph Curry his shot making is just elite. Okay. So, but in spite of that, they're going to have to figure out how to win, get back to Houston with that series tied 2-2.
I'm pretty worried if I'm a Rockets fan because that game three was the one they should have won. You've got to capitalize on those situations. Do you see any adjustments that the Rockets can make ahead of this one?
Well, they're just going to have to settle in. Remember, Mo, this is a young team, and you know their MO right now, if you will, is they play hard. But now they have to play with the purpose. And the purpose is they're going to have to learn how to execute, take care of the ball, especially on the road, and play a brand of basketball where you can go into an opposing team's arena and win a game. Okay, so that's going to take a lot of poise. That's going to take patience. But more importantly, they have to play with the purpose of understanding and value the basketball. So this is a young team. I don't know, how long it's going to take for them to learn that. For many of these players, Mo, this is their first time in the playoffs. This is a very valuable experience. So they're learning on the go here. Um, but you know what? They have the talent. I know they finished second in the conference, but they don't have the experience. So again, this is to be expected. I'm going to continue to respect them because they're going to give the effort. Now that you can count on that, but they're going to have to now really play a brand of basketball that they haven't shown, or they haven't been very consistent at showing that they can come out, execute on the road, play a brand of basketball where they're opportunistic, make the stops, pay attention to detail, but more importantly, really execute in the fire when the game matters most.
And find that second scoring punch that we talk about all the time. I mean,
Yeah, they're gonna have to. Tomorrow night. If they don't win tomorrow night, you can. If they don't win tomorrow night, it's season. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, we're going to see, and we're going to be here again tomorrow breaking down everything that happens as the games continue. I think now they play every 48 hours. So we're going to be going through the rest of the first round real quick, and we'll be on to the semifinals before you know it. OKC have already booked their spot in the semifinals, and we're just waiting for everyone else to fill out the bracket. So we're going to be there. We'll see who else is going to be there. But what a day of basketball, BJ. What an absolutely amazing day. And the best part for me is it started at 6 p.m. It was beautiful.
Outstanding. And we're going to continue to do it. We're going to see these games tomorrow, and then we're going to be back to that Denver series. That Denver Clipper series is, oh man, it's great. So, but here we are. Tomorrow we have some good games on tap, and let's go get it, partner.
Absolutely. Subscribe to the show, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from. And until next time, get buckets.